Punchboard Media,
where we all
bring something
to the table.
pull up a chair
At punchboardmedia.com.
So now here we're in the corner of the Steve Jackson's game booth, and we're talking to Phil about what Steve Jackson's got going on right now.
Thank you for coming back into the corner. I've been in trouble. They set me here earlier, and this is where I'm staying. So we have a variety of things on the table. Only two of which are actually available right now. These are the bullet dice. This is a set of 6-sided dice that we should definitely show you in the future. These are double injection dice. Bring that nice and close. And they are standard 6-sided dice, so use them with whatever game you want. A lot of Shadowrun players are picking these up, which didn't shock me too much. But yeah, this is available now. They're extremely cool, and we had so much fun with these dice. Steve designed a game called Z-Shot that uses 12 of these dice in it, and that'll be out in September. Have you made it to our booth yet?
I've been wandering.
Okay, so our booth has a big display case with stuff in it. I wish it was here because there's a 10-sided die in there. I am not joking, weighs 1 pound.
Okay, well, through the magic of editing, here it is.
Here's the magic of editing.
Yeah, we're showing the booth right now and showing the giant die.
Yeah, it's 1 pound. It's ridiculous. And also in there is the Z-Shot game, which you can show everybody right now. And that uses these dice.
Okay.
So this is available now. Also available now is we made these really cool Illuminati coins, which I am the worst Vanna White on the planet, but I'm doing my best. So this coin gave me an idea when it came in because it looks so cool. So I called the factory and said, can we make dice like that? And they said, no, that's not how dice are made. So I kept arguing with them. And after about 3 months, they said yes. And we made the nice big 25 millimeter metal die that has like a bas relief sculpt of wizards on all 6 sides. It is a die. You can roll it as much as you like. We haven't started selling these yet. We included this die in a Kickstarter project, but we have more in the works. I'm really trying to get into the glass table business, though, before we start selling these for sure, because extra money right there when that thing hits the table.
And also wood refinishing.
Anything that damages a table, we're in. Giant 10-sided dice, 25 millimeter metal dice. We know what we're doing. Will's shaking his head. Everybody knows Will the cameraman?
Most people know Will the cameraman.
Good. So we made these neat little rainbow Munchkin dice. They're 19 millimeter. These are in the booth. I'm very bad at this because I said 2 things available and now I've got 3. And we also made 16 millimeter rainbow Munchkin dice. Those will be out later this year because sometimes people want smaller dice and sometimes they want bigger dice. And no matter what, they want rainbows. Also coming out this summer is this Illuminati D6 dice pack. And I really like the red and the blue colors. They're almost metallic sort of sheen to them. So we decided that we would just use the same colors for our Cthulhu dice. And these are a couple of prototypes for some new colors we'll be releasing maybe later this year. It could be in the spring. If you've not played Cthulhu dice, it is a single die game for 3 to 6 players. $6.95, has 18 glass stones, came out in 2010. We have officially released over 24 colors of Cthulhu dice since it came out, and we have 6 more in the works. So I'm not sure if people really, really like Cthulhu or they really like dice, but something's working for us on that game.
It's a mixture of both, I think.
It could be a little bit of both. We also did this orange Cthulhu die prototype So these 3 are one-offs. They're just prototypes. They're not being made yet. The orange one you probably can't see is an iridescent dye. And this dye is a perfect example of why we work closely with the factory on prototyping, because they made an opaque iridescent dye, which means that somewhere inside this cube are all the happy little shiny glittery iridescence that you will never see. The surface of it has some, you can almost make it out, but typically iridescent dice are translucent, so when the light hits them they have that neat little sheen. These poor iridescents went to the grave and will never be seen again.
Cthulhu. That's what happened to them.
Yes. But since we're talking orange, we also have these amazing Halloween dice coming out later this year. These were designed by Alex Fernandez, who, I would like to point out, has been in the Steve Jackson Games office for 2 decades this year. Alex has been doing this a very long time, and he hates it when I remind him of that, so I thought I would tell everyone that he's been doing this a very long time. Alex also designed these nifty little skull and dragon dice for us. We've not yet put these on our schedule. They'll probably be a November or December release. You are never going to see this on camera because it doesn't work, but this die looks like candy and I'm not supposed to eat it. I want to, but I'm not supposed to. Also on the dice front, we have Army Men D6 dice set. I mean, I hope you can tell what that looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, you get the idea. And the colors. So this one was fun. A little bit of how the sausage is made. This dice set was made because I woke up Monday morning and said, hey, why can't I buy Army Men dice? I did a search on the internet, and I still couldn't buy Army Men dice. So about an hour later, I had everybody working on Army Men dice, and later that day, we had the designs wrapped up and over to the factory, and about 3 weeks later, these showed up. So that's how sausage is made. Somebody has a bad idea and has the power to tell other people to act on it. We're making a lot of dice. We won't deny that. The one thing we know everyone needs is something to put their dice in. So after some discussion with retailers, we said, okay, sure, we'll make dice bags. So this dice bag will come out in September. It is 2-sided. It's a 6-inch by 9-inch. It'll hold about 100 assorted dice. Part of our retailer discussions involved you've got to make sure they're lined, so they're higher quality bags. We did that. And we will also be packing one 6-sided die with the bag because, maybe somebody's never bought dice before in their life and they just like the bags. We'd like to get them started. Or maybe they're like everyone else and own 187,000 dice and they need another one.
187,001 now.
Exactly. And 2, because this other bag also comes with a die. Also in the display case that I don't have here, but I'm sure you'll be able to see in the future, like now, there is a cute dragon bag illustrated by Lar D'Souza. If you don't know his work, he's done a bunch of Munchkin stuff for us. He illustrated the new edition of Illuminati. His dragon bag is adorable. It's a dragon with a bunch of dice, and he's like holding on to him like it's his hoard. It's very cute. And then we also have an Illuminati and a Cthulhu dice bag in the display case that you can put your dice in. Okay? That's a lot of dice.
It's a lot of dice.
Yes. Well, we like dice, and Steve and I this year said, you know what? We're done not making dice. Let's make dice. We also have here... Hi. We also have here at Origins, for sale for the first time, Deadly Doodles. Have you seen Deadly Doodles?
I have not.
All right. Will, have you seen Deadly Doodles? You're looking right at it.
He's shaking his head. Well,
I get the feeling Will doesn't like to be a part of the process. Oh, okay. Cool. So, Deadly Doodles. First, most important thing, Katie Cook does amazing art. She's just adorable work. She illustrated a Munchkin Oz game for us, a Munchkin Cthulhu game for us. She illustrated Munchkin Kittens, which we just can't keep in stock because kittens and Katie Cook art go together perfectly to the point. I don't think we've told anybody yet, but we're working on Katie Cook kitten dice right now. But you didn't hear that. It's not official. But they look really cool. This is what we are calling a draw and draw game. So that means every player is going to get a, why don't I turn them all the same direction? Dry erase board. These are identical. This is a little dungeon. Everybody's going to get dry erase markers. And then there's a deck of cards. We'll just make some room here. So on each turn, you're going to turn up 4 cards. Oh, this is going to be a crazy turn. So draw 2. You're going to draw 2. Draw 2. Now, what's going to happen is all of the players in secret are going to draw onto their board these shapes starting at one of the entrances to the dungeon. What you want to do is you want to draw over the weapons and draw over the matching monster, because that gives you extra points. If you just go over the monster but don't get the weapon, that's bad because you hit the monster but you never found the weapon to kill it. There are loot bags. You definitely want those. Those are money. And there's a dragon in the center, and if you can cross through the dragon before the end of the game, he doubles the value of all of your loot. So the game goes 7 rounds. At the end of 7 rounds, everyone will total their scores, and one player will be the winner, and I will be the loser. In addition to those cards, though, there are also traps in the dungeon. This is where the jerk friends you have are going to screw you over. So, when a trap card comes out, you are going to draw a trap somewhere on the board that you have not already been, and that is not one of the pre-printed areas of the board. Then, at the end of the game, you will call out and you'll say, I trapped C2. If anyone went through C2, negative points. But if you call out, I trap C2, and Will calls out, I trap C2, Will and I just hosed each other. We take the negative points, everybody else is safe, and the trap doesn't affect. It's very fast. It's like 15 to 20 minutes, 1 to 4 players. If you play single player, you just pull the trap cards out because we're not going to have your other personality be a part of the game. It's just you on your own. And this will officially be released in August, but we do have advanced copies for sale at Origins. Do you guys do reviews or anything?
We do.
Yeah, would you like a copy of Deadly?
Absolutely.
We'll send a copy of Deadly Doodles home with you.
Awesome. So look for a review coming soon.
Fantastic. I didn't know that was part of the transaction. Wow, I should give you more games. All right, and that is Deadly Doodles. The last thing I have with me, and if I'm talking too much, please let me know.
You're fine.
Well, thank you. That's not what most people say. I know, I'm taking too long. I get that all the time. Will's checking his watch. He's like, this guy talks a lot. All right. The last thing I have is not for sale here. It is not for sale at Gen Con. It is not for sale until November. But it is Munchkin Warhammer Age of Sigmar. This is our newest Warhammer game that we're doing with Games Workshop. And this one is special because it's not just a fake empty box of air that I wave around. This one actually has things in it that most people haven't seen yet, because I think today is the first time we've actually taken this out into public. So, just like with the Munchkin Warhammer 40,000 game that we produced, we worked with the Games Workshop team to make extremely horrible and terrible jokes. John Kovalik did all of the artwork because he's a giant Warhammer nerd, and if he had not done all of the artwork, I probably would have never heard the end of his crying. And we love John. He's a really good guy. He works hard. And, I mean, who else is going to go that crazy? I mean, look at this. That guy's adorable. Which is not what you typically think of when you think of Warhammer monsters.
Not at all.
So, this game will ship in November. It will be ready in time for Christmas. As you can see, it's essentially done. This is a tooling sample from the factory, so this is our last chance to look at everything and say thumbs up, thumbs down before the final manufacturing starts. So we are well in hand and on track to have this in stores for Christmas.
Awesome.
And that's the end of my show and tell. I didn't bring anything else, but I'll talk about anything you want. There's just no more show.
Well, is there anything else that we can get some B-roll of?
Have you seen Car Wars?
I've seen a little bit about it.
Okay. Are you familiar with the original Car Wars game?
Not exactly.
So Car Wars 1981 was... The best way to describe it to someone who isn't familiar with the company's history at this point, think about the company and Munchkin today. I mean, Munchkin is our biggest seller. We sell a lot of Munchkin. We're even making Munchkin Warhammer games. It's amazing. Back in the 80s, Car Wars was the company's Munchkin. It was huge. Millions of copies, players everywhere, and it is a cars with guns game. You design your car, you go out into the arena, and you fight each other. The new edition of Car Wars that we're working on carries over 2 parts of the original game, and they are the most important parts of the original game. Cars with guns. Everything else about the new Car Wars game is brand new. It's designed to be faster playing. You don't need a spreadsheet to design your car. You use cards. I can design a car in like 3 minutes and then fight the other losers in the office who needed 10 minutes. They're slow. They can't help it. And it takes about 30 minutes per player, so a 4-player game's about 2 hours. Right now, what we're working on the game is wrapping up the miniatures expansions. It's 36 different packs of minis cars. We may reconfigure the product mix or something like that. And the core game, and we'll be taking the entire thing to Kickstarter, hopefully before the end of this year. We just want to make sure that we're as close to done as possible so that we can deliver the Kickstarter rewards as fast as possible after the campaign closes. Nobody enjoys spending money today for a game that's going to be here in 18 months. You want it as close as possible. If we can get it down to 6 months, awesome. I don't know. We're going to try. So you should definitely see Car Wars while you're here. And the other thing you should get a look at is the display case with that giant 1-pound D10 that I didn't bring here because I'm so stupid. Okay?
So there's that and more, so definitely check out Steve Jackson Games.
Yes, you can find us at sjgames.com, or if you ask Will, he might very nicely come to Austin and give us like a little self-guided tour or something. But you have to ask nice.
Very nice.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.